I feel like I have a real world example just from last week. One of my kids was melting down about something, and, you know, my husband is kind of realizing like, yeah, we got to deal with this because this is becoming a pattern. And he's trying to point out to me, because I tend to be the more lenient parent.
Right.
You know, I feel like I feel like couples have this issue where one is maybe a little stronger and one is maybe more lenient, and they work together well because there are situations where you need to show grace, but then there are situations where you need to say, we need a boundary here because this isn't good. This is not where we want our kids to end up with this type of emotional behavior.
Right.
So, but it was hard for me in the moment because he was pointing out a pattern of my behavior in responding to it. And he was acknowledging his own as well. But it was a heated moment because it was hard for me to hear. Right. Because I'm like, oh, I'm trying my best. You know, it's not just all me. It's all, oh, and so you feel that like, but I just get quiet. That tends to be what I do, and go away from it. But I have to be able to humble myself and come back when I've had time to talk to God about it and say, I hear what you're saying, and you're right about that. I need to be able to draw some more boundaries. And how do I do that? Like, can we be a team about it? So I think that having humility to be able to acknowledge that doesn't always happen in the moment, but sometimes coming back around to it feels like the best thing you can do. I don't know.
I feel like the humility word you used nailed it. Like, you know, we've been talking a lot about in the church humility, right? How do we act as human? How do we do it in our relationships? How do we do it in our parenting? And that one's huge. That's like ultimate humility, right? To be able to, in those moments with your husband, be able to sit and listen to him say, hey, here's where I think you could have done that different. And you're like, oh, yeah, it feels painful. But this, like, I think you're onto something so key, that humility is like a key ingredient to the healthy disagreements or the healthy conflict resolution. It's not just like a key ingredient, it's actually essential.
Yeah.
I'm not sure there's any other way to do the conflict resolution well, whether that's like in our family relationships or in the wider body, if we don't have that humility. Yeah.
I agree.
It's a big one.
And it's hard to do because you're really laying down your pride.
Yeah.
And if you keep clinging to like, no, I've got this figured out, you'll never learn, you'll never grow, your relationships will suffer because of it. But that's what we're seeing, right?
Yeah.
And I think at least it's encouraging, you know, early in our marriage, I feel like these moments would last longer and be more of like a thorn in our side. And I hope like after 10 years, I'm getting a little quicker. Right. And he's getting a little quicker to humble ourselves. And I think that's like, okay, thank you, God. We're getting quicker at this.
And your frustration tolerance is higher.
Right.
Yeah.
Right? So it's not so low that you're just like on each other instantly when there's a disagreement. Your like tolerance level is higher to be like, okay, this is a disagreement. We're putting it out here. We're gonna figure it out.
Like what you saw in this clip, you can catch the full conversation on our YouTube channel, or you can listen to it wherever you listen to podcasts. We'll see you in the next one.